Guys, Goku's training is getting insane, and Yamoshi is analyzing it closely. Finally, she's going to see Goku and Vegeta as they go up against the female Namekian's barrier. We're going to see all of this now, so grab your bucket of popcorn and your soda. Come with me, and of course, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and comment on the video. Well, without further ado, let the story begin. In the 7th universe. Currently in the 7th universe, more precisely in one of the villages on the planet Namek, it was possible to see that in the house where Yamoshi lived, there was Beerus, Whis, Son Goku and Vegeta, and next to them was the village elder Yuhiko, who was the leader of that village, while Yamoshi was the guardian and responsible for training all the Namekian warriors. Inside Yamoshi's residence, it was possible to see that the atmosphere in the residence was very heavy. The conversation between them had reached a point that did not please the ancestor of the Saiyans very much, and thanks to that the atmosphere ended up getting pretty heavy. Yuhiko spoke. "Let's leave the past in the past. Now that you've asked what you wanted to know, it's time for us to ask what you want in our village, and especially, what do you want with Yamoshi?" asked the elder of that village, as he looked steadily at the beings in front of her. Vegeta said, "Don't get me wrong, but our main subject is with Yamoshi, and I don't think you should get involved in something that is none of your business or interest, but it's nothing personal," said the Prince of Saiyans with a more arrogant tone than usual. After all, Vegeta didn't like talking to weaklings or vermin in his opinion. Yamoshi spoke. "You are weaker than I imagined. If you were strong enough, or had managed to master at least the power of the Super Saiyan God, you could feel the power of a deity without being transformed," said the goddess of Saiyans in a tone more fun while looking at the members of her race. Goku said, "I didn't understand very well. What did Yamoshi mean by that, Whis?" asked the Saiyan looking at the angel of his universe. Whis said, "Use it in your Super Saiyan God forms, and you two will understand what Yamoshi meant," said the angel, giving a slight look to the two Saiyans. Goku and Vegeta didn't understand what was happening, but they both obeyed Whis and transformed into Super Saiyan God. And in doing so, the Saiyans felt an enormous amount of ki being released by Yuhiko, who wasn't even making an effort to do so. Yuhiko said, "The elders of this village are not decided just because they are smart and know how to solve problems, but also the elders must be the strongest among the Namekians. And I am an ancient elder, and during that time, I have already been challenged countless times. None of them were able to defeat me. Yamoshi is the strongest in the village, but she's not a Namekian. She can't be an elder. But I can, and that's why I'm the second strongest person in this village. So I recommend that you don't treat me that way, or I'll have to crush you." Yuhiko spoke in a serious tone as he looked at both Saiyans, who unconsciously trembled when they felt the gaze of the old woman. Vegeta thought, "I just trembled like this before, when I said that Bulma was getting old and fat, and even though she was a normal human, I felt very scared. But this one's scaring me because Yuhiko really can kill me if she wants to," thought the Prince of Saiyans while looking with a certain fear at the power of the Namekian elder. Yamoshi said, "Yuhiko, you can stop releasing your energy now. After all, they are our hosts, and you always complain here when I don't receive my guests properly, so behave yourself." Yamoshi spoke as she approached and placed one of her hands on his shoulder of the elder woman, who closed her eyes and sighed, making the energy that was being emanated suddenly disappear. Yuhiko said, "You calling me out for not being a good hostess is even ironic, considering you literally threw the representative of the Black Namekians out of your house with your usual Saiyan violence. And don't think we won't have a long talk later about it, Yamoshi," Yuhiko said while staring at her childhood friend, who turned her face away and started whistling, pretending the message hadn't been meant for her. Yamoshi said, "Well, leaving this unpleasant moment about my past and the lack of power of these two Saiyans aside, I'd like to know what you want with me and Yuhiko. You'll stay and listen to everything. After all, she's the elder of the village. I'm the guardian, and anything I do, I need her permission. So say what you want, and if I think it deserves my attention, and Yuhiko lets me, I'll help you. But if it doesn't happen, you'll leave this village, and don't bother me again," Yamoshi said, taking the chair where she was sitting before and sitting on it again. Beerus said, "In a summarized way, Frieza, the last of the Arcosians, is now very powerful, surpassing the power of Goku and Vegeta, who have the power of Ultra Instinct and Superior Ego respectively.
Even these two Saiyans possess great power in their hands. They could not face Frieza, who got a new power that he named Black Frieza. And using that power, he managed to humiliate Goku and Vegeta with just one blow. So he came after you, Yamoshi, so you could train these two Saiyans to fight Frieza. Because even though I know how dangerous Frieza is, I'm not gonna do anything to help these two. It was these two Saiyans who caused it, so they'll solve the problem. Explained the 7th Universe God of Destruction to Yamoshi and Yuhiko, who thought about it a bit. Yuhiko said, Frieza, the Arconian, who had destroyed our planet in the past, who was later killed and then revived, and then killed again, became a threat again. All because of you two, because you didn't know how to leave someone dead, definitely dead. And now it comes to our village with the intention of asking Yamoshi to train the two of you to solve the problem you caused yourself. And still you dare to insult me. Have I recapitulated it well, or am I missing some important information? Asked the old woman in a sarcastic tone when she found out what those two Saiyans without education or respect had done. Vegeta said, No, you recounted it very well. It's our current situation created solely and exclusively by Kakarot, who called Frieza to the Tournament of Power, promising to bring him back to life, said the Prince of Saiyans while looking at his Saiyan rival who just scratched his head on his back in embarrassment. Goku said, Well, in my defense I promised to revive Frieza, but who revived himself was Whis at the behest of Mr. Beerus, said the Saiyan while looking at the God of Destruction of the Universe, who just turned his face. Beerus said, Frieza is already alive, so the important thing is not who was responsible for bringing him back to life. What matters now is whether Yamoshi is going to train you two Saiyans to kill Frieza. And at this time, it's gonna be permanent, because after I kill him, I'm going to hell myself to erase Frieza's existence for all eternity, spoke the God of Destruction while looking at the Saiyans, and then at Yamoshi, who had his hands behind his head. Yamoshi said, Well, I don't mind teaching these two to use the power of the Super Saiyan God in a state above those they have, but I already say that my training is not light, so you'll have to follow all my orders to the letter. If not, I'll send you away, Yamoshi said while looking at the two Saiyans who were in front of her. Goku said, Right, but before you start training me and Vegeta, I'd like to fight with you a bit to find out how far my power is from your power. The Saiyan spoke while getting up and pumping his fists excited, thinking about facing the first goddess of Saiyans. Whis said, Mr. Goku seems to be very excited as always, said the angel looking at the Saiyan and seeing that he was excited to face the oldest ancestor of the Saiyans. Yamoshi said, Well, I wasn't planning to fight anyone today, but if you want to face me, then let's fight. And you can also come, Mr. Prince of the Saiyans, Yamoshi said while getting up, but at that moment, Yuhiko held her wrist preventing her from leaving the place. Yuhiko said, You will fight, yes, but it won't be with Yamoshi. It will be with me, because I'm still offended by the way the prince spoke to me, and I want to hit someone to de-stress. Nothing better than hitting a Saiyan, because of some Saiyans I'm stressed, Yuhiko said as she stood up and looked at her childhood friend who just gave a smile. Yamoshi said, Well, it looks like you two already have someone to fight with, so let's go to the arena where you can fight without worrying about anything, said the woman as she left the place along with everyone else.
Currently in the 7th universe, being more precise, in the secret village where Yamoshi lived for many years, and this village is present on the planet Namek, it was possible to see a large combat area where several chairs in the stands that were being occupied by the Namekians who had different colors in their skin. Most of them had green skin color, and most of them were Beerus and Whis, who were in a higher area, as if they were VIPs, and in the center of the arena was Yamoshi, who was in the center of the arena, and at the ends from the arena there was Goku and Vegeta, who were getting ready on one side, and on the other side was Yuhiko, who was facing the two Saiyans, who were at the other end of the arena. Yuhiko thought, Those two idiot Saiyans are going to learn that they shouldn't underestimate someone's strength, just because they can't sense that person's power. Just like Yamoshi, I possess divine power, because I ended up going through the transcendence ritual that elders receive when they become the definitive elders of our village. And I definitely hate it when someone thinks I'm weak because of the way I'm dressing, acting, or talking to people. I hate even more the idiots who think I'm weak for being a woman. And because of that, I really want to beat up these two idiots. And at the same time, I'm going to take out my anger that Yamoshi is putting me through because of these two. Yuhiko thought in an evil way as he looked at the two Saiyans who would suffer at her hands and would make Goku and Vegeta regret it. Yamoshi thought, seems that Yuhiko is serious, and that cold look of hers I only saw a few times, but every time I saw her that way, it didn't go very well for those who felt her cold look. And I can say that their punch is so strong it hurts a lot, and I speak from my own experience, she thought while looking at Yuhiko and remembering that she is the strongest in the village, and that Yuhiko's blows affected her, the Saiyan ancestor. Yamoshi said, well, it looks like both sides are ready, so let's start the fight, remembering that it's not necessary for you to hold back, because we have seeds of the gods, so none of you will die in this fight. That's clear if Yuhiko doesn't use a mass destruction attack, so control yourself, my old friend, she said while looking at her longtime friend, who just gave a simple smile showing that she wouldn't use enough power to kill those two Saiyans. Yamoshi said, having said everything necessary, let this duel begin, shouted the woman before disappearing from the arena and reappearing next to Whis, who wasn't even surprised by that, because he was already expected by her. When the duel between Goku and Vegeta against Yuhiko began, both Saiyans transformed into their Super Saiyan God forms, and together they advanced against Yuhiko, who remained standing, still looking at them. Goku and Vegeta managed to quickly approach the Elder, and together they tried to land a blow on the woman. But the blow of both seemed to have passed through Yuhiko's body, and seeing that, the two Saiyans began to try to land several blows on her, but the Elder did not even move. Or that's what they both saw. Except that Goku and Vegeta suddenly felt a blow in their abdomens that made both of them go backwards, but neither of them could see any movement from the woman, which surprised both of them. Goku and Vegeta, seeing that their current state was not strong enough, they transformed into Super Saiyan Blue and advanced against Yuhiko again and tried to hit a double punch on the Elder, who this time held the fist of both with extreme ease, and before Goku and Vegeta could think, both ended up receiving a key attack that sent them flying. But before both managed to stabilize themselves, Yuhiko was already at the side, hitting a punch in Goku, throwing him in the air, and then a kick in Vegeta, making him leave the arena and go against the barrier that was around the arena. Goku managed to recover quickly and advanced against Yuhiko, and then tried to hit several blows on the Elder, who dodged everyone in a simple way as if it were nothing. And in the vision of the Elder, Goku was slower than a turtle, so dodging was simple and easy for her. When Goku saw that no matter how many times he attacked, he would not hit her, Goku ended up activating his Kaioken, and for the first time Goku managed to hit Yuhiko, which surprised everyone. But in the next instant, everyone could see that Goku's fist was a few feet away, centimeters from the old woman's face, and that around Goku's fist there was a golden aura that prevented him from moving his fist. Yuhiko said, "Good blow, but lacked strength to break my barrier," she said before raising her hand, making a great wind that came out of the old woman's hand, causing Goku to be thrown sharply against the arena's barrier. Yuhiko, feeling an increase in power coming from one side of the barrier, she jumped back and saw two spears of ki go flying, both of which had been fired by Vegeta in an attempt to catch the old woman off guard, something that did not work. Vegeta suddenly appeared above Yuhiko, hitting the old woman with a kick, something that made several cracks appear in the arena, and along with that a large amount of dust ended up forming, and from that curtain of dust soon everyone saw a dark blue aura, this being Vegeta in his form of Super Saiyan Blue evolution. Vegeta said, "Kakarot, are you just going to stand there, or are you going to come back here and help me deal with her?" asked the Prince of Saiyans while looking in the direction where his rival was, and soon Goku appeared beside the Prince of Saiyans. Goku spoke. "Why do I think that even the two of us fighting seriously, using all our power, we won't be able to face her?" he asked rhetorically while looking at his Saiyan rival. Vegeta said, "It's because we probably won't be able to defeat her ourselves, but I'm not going to lose without fighting with everything I have," he said while looking at Goku, who nodded. Yuhiko said, "You really won't be able to defeat me, even if you use your full power. But at least Yamoshi will know how strong you really are. And if you two fight with everything, you might be able to destroy my barrier. And if you succeed, it will be something surprising. After all, only Yamoshi can do that. And besides her, no one else can do that here in the village," said the old woman as she left the dust curtain without any apparent injury, which irritated Vegeta, because his blow was ineffective. Goku said, "Since it's like that, then let's not go with everything at once. Come on, Vegeta." He spoke the Saiyan before returning to his base form. Vegeta said, "Don't give me orders, Kakarot," said the Prince of Saiyans, returning to his base form as well as his rival. Goku and Vegeta at the same time began to raise their power, and soon two pillars of energy rose to the heavens, one being silver and the other in a dark purple tone. And when both pillars disappeared, everyone could see that Goku was now with the power of Ultra Instinct activated, and Vegeta was now at the power of Ultra Ego. And now both Saiyans were using their full power. Yamoshi thought, "So they have the power of an angel and a god of destruction. I must say that this is truly impressive, but this is a power that doesn't belong to them. Because of that, these two will never be able to fully master the power of these transformations, which must make them weak," she thought as she watched both Saiyans using that one power, that for another one, who knows about those powers, would be impressed, as everyone who was watching the duel was, and even though everyone knew that Yuhiko would be the winner, everyone was still impressed with the power of the two Saiyans. Yuhiko thought, "Is this the full power of these two Saiyans? I must say that they have a dangerous and incredible power at the same time. Even more if we take into account that this power belongs to the highest level divine beings. And even though they are mortal, they got this power," the old woman thought while looking at the two Saiyans, who they now had serious expressions on their faces. Goku said, "Let's show her the power of the most powerful Saiyans in the 7th universe. Vegeta," said the Saiyan, putting himself in a combat posture. Vegeta said, "See if you don't disturb me, or if not, I myself will defeat you and fight her alone, Kakarot," said the Prince of Saiyans while putting himself in a combat posture, and at the same time looking at his rival, who just laughed. Yuhiko spoke, "Then come, show me your power, the strongest mortals of the 7th universe," she spoke in a defiant tone as she looked at the two Saiyans. Currently in the 7th universe, more precisely in the village where Yamoshi lived, it was possible to see that Son Goku and Vegeta were using the power of their most powerful forms. Son Goku was using the power of Ultra Instinct and Vegeta the power of Ultra Ego, and both Saiyans had a serious expression on their faces. Yamoshi was impressed with the powers of those two mortal Saiyans, as Goku and Vegeta were using powers that only divine beings like Beerus and Whis possessed. Yuhiko, until that moment, was just staring at the two Saiyans, impressed by the divine abilities of Goku and Vegeta. Yuhiko knew that even though the two Saiyans possessed that impressive and almost unbelievable power for two mortals, that power didn't even come close to the full power of Yamoshi, as she transformed into a perfect Super Saiyan God form. Both Yamoshi and Yuhiko knew that those two Saiyans were too strong for their standards, but both women weren't in that same standard for many years. Yamoshi and Yuhiko knew that even the two Saiyans having all that power, they still wouldn't be able to hurt Yuhiko. Maybe they could destroy the invisible barrier that was around her, but defeating her would be impossible for Saiyans with that level of power. Yuhiko said, "Are you going to stare at me, or are you going to start with this soon? I want to see if you deserve to be trained by Yamoshi. Because if you don't manage to destroy my barrier, I will expel you from the planet, and you will never be able to come to the planet Namek again. And even if you do, you will not be allowed to enter this village. But if you do, I will have to kill you too, and I will ensure that the Dragon Balls cannot bring you back to life," said the old woman, looking at the two Saiyans, who ended up assuming an even more serious expression. After all, if they couldn't at least destroy the barrier that was around Yuhiko, they would never be able to become stronger, and thus defeat Frieza with his new form. Goku and Vegeta looked at each other for a few seconds, and then they nodded, and began to raise their energies and advance towards the old woman. Yuhiko, seeing the speed of the two Saiyans, flexed her knees and advanced against them, aiming a blow at Goku and Vegeta, and for the first time, the Saiyans managed to dodge the old woman's blow, and then counterattacked, aiming a double kick that ended up hitting the Namekian elder, who was surprised, because for the first time, the Saiyans had landed a direct hit on her. But like Goku's previous blow, that attack was blocked by the barrier around Yuhiko. Goku and Vegeta did not wait for the old woman to recover, and advanced against her again, and Yuhiko did the same, and with that they entered into a hand-to-hand combat where Yuhiko opened his own guard on purpose, so that the Saiyans tried to break her guard. At the same time, the old woman hit several blows on the two Saiyans when they made a mistake, and even Goku managed to dodge some blows because of Ultra Instinct, but he couldn't dodge them all. The old woman was too fast for Goku's Ultra Instinct, and Vegeta, unlike Goku, he ended up receiving all the hits from the old woman. But thanks to his resistance, he was able to withstand the blows from Yuhiko, who smiled when she saw the persistence of the Prince of Saiyans. Goku and Vegeta thought for a moment, and after looking at each other, they both walked away from Yuhiko, and then the Saiyans advanced against the old woman with their fists imbued with their ki. Upon seeing that, Yuhiko advanced against them, and exchanged a blow with the Saiyans. This blow created a large impact wave, one so strong that it made the arena turn into rubble, and the barrier that was around the arena ended up being destroyed. But before the impact wave could affect those who were watching the duel, Whis hit his staff on the ground, creating a new barrier, preventing the impact wave from affecting the viewers of that duel. Whis said, "It seems that this fight is getting very exciting, and apparently it's already reaching the end. But for that to happen, your friend Yuhiko needs to take this duel more seriously," said the angel, looking at the Saiyan Yamoshi, who kept her gaze on the two Saiyans. Yamoshi spoke. "Yuhiko can defeat those two with just one attack if she wants to, but she's extending this fight so I can analyze how these two Saiyans are, and what their power level is, and if they deserve to be trained by me. Yuhiko is the village elder, and I'm the guardian, and as such, I have a lot of work to do. So if those two don't show that they really want to be trained to get stronger, Yuhiko won't allow the training to happen if they don't pass her test. Many have tried to train with me, but most of them couldn't pass Yuhiko's test, and those who passed are currently the strongest in the village." Yamoshi spoke while looking at the angel, and Beerus, who was enjoying that fight a lot. Beerus thought that fight was supposed to be a lot of fun. He normally just liked to face his enemies, but seeing a duel between powerful beings was also fun. Another big wave of impact was formed, making everyone turn their attention to the duel between the Saiyans and Yuhiko. After the impact wave, a large curtain of dust was formed, but in a few seconds the dust disappeared, and then the Saiyans and Yuhiko returned to exchange blows, again revealing to everyone that Goku and Vegeta had a large part of their clothes destroyed and torn, and there were several wounds on their bodies. Yuhiko had no wounds on her body, and there was no mark of destruction on her clothes. Yuhiko thought, "My barrier is starting to break, so if I force these two Saiyans a little, they will end up using their strongest attack. And if this attack doesn't break my barrier, then Goku and Vegeta will not be able to be trained by Yamoshi." Yuhiko thought, already planning to see if those two Saiyans would break her barrier with one final attack. Yuhiko, who was receiving several blows that were being blocked by the invisible barrier, decided to release her ki, making her barrier expand, and the Saiyans move away. Then Yuhiko disappeared and reappeared on top of Goku and hit him with a kick, and then she disappeared and reappeared next to Vegeta, hitting him with a spinning kick that made Vegeta go against Goku, and both of them were thrown away, and in doing so, Yuhiko started shooting several energy spheres at the Saiyans that ended up being hit in full. Yuhiko said, "It seems that you two are already at your limit, so let's end this battle once and for all. I recommend that you use your most powerful attacks now, or you'll lose the duel, and you won't be able to be trained by Yamoshi," alerted the old woman as she looked at the two Saiyans who were leaving the dust curtain with some more injuries and bruises. Goku said, "My energy is already at its limit. I won't be able to maintain the power of Ultra Instinct for a long time, Vegeta," confessed the Saiyan while looking at his rival who was a little out of breath. Vegeta said, "I didn't want to admit it, but my energy is already reaching its limit, and the power of Ultra Ego is running out quickly," said the Prince of Saiyans while feeling his power diminishing. Goku said, "Since it's like that, then let's use all our power at once, and with that unite our attacks to end this barrier," said the Saiyan while he got up and looked at Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta began to unite their energies and then flew together with their fists closed towards Yuhiko, who just raised her hand to stop the Saiyan's attack. When Goku and Vegeta attack hit Yuhiko, there was a huge explosion that left a large trail of destruction throughout the place. That was the end of the battle, so the barrier that was being maintained by Whis ended up being undone, and with that everyone started looking at the smoke that had been created by the Saiyan's attack. And from that same dust, Yuhiko left without any injury, and that scene left everyone scared, because the Saiyans managed to fulfill their objective of breaking the old woman's barrier. Yuhiko spoke. "I must say that I'm very impressed with you two. After all, it's been a while since someone managed to break through my barrier. Congratulations, Son Goku and Prince Vegeta. You won this duel. But please, you two can take your hands off my chest," said the old woman, while the smoke coming out of her showing that in this last attack of the Saiyans, Yuhiko had to defend herself using his hands, but Goku and Vegeta were faster and broke the barrier. As Goku and Vegeta were out of energy, both Saiyans ended up falling to the ground in their base forms, leaving Yamoshi, Whis, and Beerus scared with the unusual way that Goku and Vegeta broke the barrier. With that, we'll end today's video. If you want to see the continuation of this incredible story, leave a lot of likes in the video and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you another day, guys!